Hi, I'm Fatima.
And I'm Angie, and welcome to Career Talk.
This program will introduce you to a variety of careers firsthand from professionals working in those fields.
So Fatima, why is this so important?
Well, one of the best ways to learn about which career is right for you is to ask individuals working in those occupations through informational interviewing like we're doing today with Tomas Rodriquez, who is a football coach and athletic equipment manager for Yuba College. Welcome, Tomas.
Thank you, too, for having me on here.
It's great to have
I feel
you.
like I'm in deja vu or something like that. But.
Well, our first question for you today is what led you to decide to follow this career path?
When I was in high school, I had no offers to go to play at any other schools for football. So I came to Yuba College, my local community college, and played 2 seasons there. And at the end of 2 seasons, I came to the conclusion that I still wasn't good enough to go anywhere else to play football. And I loved football so much that I decided that I was going to get into coaching. And so that's the reason why I'm coaching today.
That's great.
Great. And how did you get started in this field?
Well, with football, it is some people call it a good old boys network, which is it's a really big into who you know. Mm-hmm. And for me, my person that I knew was my brother Ernie, who coached at Live Oak High School, and so I got in with him at the junior varsity level. And then from there I went to another high school, which was Gridley High School. We got in there because of my brother's coaching ability was well known by the local or neighboring high school, and so we went there. And then when my younger brother, I have a football family obviously, my younger brother finished here at Yuba College playing football. Coach Hull, the head coach, called me up and said, "Tommy, would you like to come out and play?" And I said, "Yeah, definitely." And so that was just another way of, the good old boys network, knowing someone, and that's how I got involved with Yuba College in coaching football.
Networking is a big part of it.
Network is a really big part. It's probably 90% of how you get jobs.
Okay, great.
In football.
Well, can you describe a typical workday?
It is never the same. It is very long, and I right now I'm an equipment manager, and that's 8 hours of my day. In the summertime, the hours change, but for the most part, it's an 8-hour day. And then after my work time, it's when I coach football. In most places, that's how it goes, unless you're at the Division I levels or actually any 4-year schools. They have the ability to have more coaches that are full-time on staff. But mostly the junior college and the high school levels, you have one full-time job and then you get into coaching. As far as what I do throughout the day, most of it starts with the eligibility of the athletes. Are they going to school? Are they in the correct classes to make sure that they have the opportunity to move to another school. Once you go from there, it goes into the realm of team meetings. You meet with each player or their position as a coach to watch film and study your opponent in your practices, and then you meet with a team, and then you meet with a coaching staff. So you'll meet three different meeting times to go over the practice that you had and the opponent that you're going to play. And then depending on the time of the year, let's say we're in football season, you'll have 2 hours of football practice. And then after football practice, you usually film it. As a coaching staff, you break down the film of your practice that is kind of tailored to the opponent you're playing. And then at the end of the day, you create your practice plan for the next day. And then you, throughout the day, you're working with kids who have all different types of problems. Not problems, but situations that come about. So it could be pretty busy, and there's a lot of other things that go on. But for the most part, I like it. So.
Great. And so what do you like best about your job?
The family atmosphere of what football's about, the technical stuff about football, and then helping young men to reach their goals of going to another college, to get an education and to play football. That's probably my favorite part about football.
That's great.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges in your line of work?
Teaching the young men to be adults and to steer them in the direction to go to a four-year school. It's not football. The football part is not the hard part. It's making sure that kids are going to class in the right amount of units to be a college football player or any sport, not just football, because I'm a football coach, but to be in athletics. And in college, you have to be in 12 units. You always have to be a full-time student, and you have to graduate with your class. Sometimes kids who go to college maybe take fewer than 12 units a semester, but with football, you have to have a 2.0. You have to be on course to graduating within 4 to 5 years, because you only have 4 to 5 years to play football. So that's really important. So those are the things that are harder. It's not the kids like to go to football practice. They like to lift. They like to run and jump and do all that stuff. It's going to class, and then for some of the kids, they're outside things that go on. You know, maybe money. Do they have enough money to go to school? So those are the things that are the hard parts about football. Coaching is the fun part and easy part, but the other stuff, it's fun to help those kids accomplish their goals. So.
Wonderful. What would you recommend to anybody interested in getting into your line of work?
I kind of mentioned it earlier, but like I said, it's a good old boys network, but if you know people. I say for young or people who want to get in coaching, either go back to your old high school if you have that opportunity, or go or college. You know, so for me it was high school because college wasn't the opportunity, or some of the things that they have is they have football clinics where coaches all gather to learn new skills about football. But I think it's more of a social meeting. It's not. Sometimes as I've gone older, I don't really learn too much more. I meet more people now. You know, that's what it is really about. Oh, I'm Jim, and I'm from this school, or I'm from this part of the country. So to me, those are really good places to start meeting people.
And that's so important. Networking is a huge part in any field, and getting out and meeting new people. And I just recently read some statistics that 80 to 85% of jobs are in the hidden job market, and how you access that hidden job market is through networking and to getting to know individuals in different fields and in the field that you're wanting to get into particularly, and just putting yourself out there, meeting new people and getting to know individuals. And a good way to do that is through informational interviewing, kind of like we're doing today with Tomas, is getting out there and talking to individuals who are actually working in those fields, meeting people that are doing the job that you want to do, so you get an understanding of what it takes to get into that specific occupation. So thank you for sharing that. That's important.
Yeah, I think I'm not trying to. I'm saying that's definitely right. I mean, if I'm coaching here, I think I would more likely if say a job came at a Yuba for coaching football because Coach Hull retired, I would probably be more. I have a very good shot at getting a job because of the people around me knew me. Or if I were to go all the way to New York to apply to a job where no one knew me, I knew no contacts, it would be pretty tough.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
So our final question is, what skills must someone absolutely have to succeed in this field?
I think it comes down to about 5 skills. And when I started coaching, I probably had half of one, maybe one of them. And over time, I think you develop more of them. And there's probably even more. And I'm just going to try to really basically hit on a couple of them because I could probably tell you for another hour or so, still more. Obviously, communication. When I started coaching, I was very shy. You know, I didn't know how to say things. Communicating. Kids really listen to every word you say. If you say something and you're just mumbling or just talking, they will take the context of what you've said, and sometimes that is the gospel. I mean, you say something and you're just talking to trying to get them off your back. In the beginning when I tried it, they'll come back to you and they'll call you on it. So communication, looking them in the eye, meaning what you say, coming to them with good information. That's probably a really big skill you need to have, is communication. Obviously, motivation. Sometimes kids have a lot of things going around them that, or maybe the things that are going on in life in general. You got to be motivated to go and recruit kids. I'm motivated to teach those kids to be better football players and better students and better people. You got to be motivated to go out and fundraise for your program, to go out and motivated to say, hey, I'm Yuba College, come to Yuba College, all that kind of stuff, and play football. I've often said, and I've learned as I've gone through, is to be adaptable. You think your day's going to be one way, and then the next thing, kind of like today, I had a goal that I wanted to accomplish, 4 or 5 things I wanted to finish today, and I probably finished one of them, but 5 or 6 other things came along, and I thought I finished them pretty well today. But so you got to be adaptable. If you think it can only be in one way, in football you're probably not gonna do too well, because like in a game it changes, like in life it changes, and like in every kid's life it changes. So if you're adaptable, you'll be okay. And then to be creative. I don't know if it's a skill. I think it's a skill, creative. You teach things. If you tell it, in football, you got to learn how to, let's say, for instance, backpedal. Learn for kids to move backwards. Well, if you do it the same way every day, kids are just going to eventually tune you out. So you find different creative ways to do that. Find different creative ways to get kids to come to your program. To motivate kids, So sometimes being very creative is a good skill to have. And then probably one of the last ones, just so I don't continue to go on for a whole day, would probably be being organized. I don't know I think it's a skill. I don't know if people think it's a skill, but you got to be organized. If you come out to kids and parents as a coach or other coaches, and you're out here or over there, kids are going to go, well, this he's just out there. But if you're organized, you come to the kid and say, this is what you need to learn, this is the time we're doing it, and they're feeling like they're productive, they're learning something, they see that you like what you're doing, and it's organized, things go really well. And if I'm out and I'm looking for a coach, those are probably the 5 things I'm looking for. They may not be strong in every aspect, but for the most part, those are skills I think they could probably develop, and so I look for those in the coach, me personally too, when I'm looking at other people.
Wow.
So.
And those same skills, the communication, motivation, being adaptable, organized, and creative, those are some skills that I think most employers are looking for. Yeah. Individuals, that coming into an organization, definitely being able to communicate with them and their coworkers, and being able to communicate their ideas, being motivated to try new things and learn new things and bring a new perspective to an organization.
Yeah, definitely.
Having some type of organizational skills. I think those are all really good skills, and I think they can be transferred to really almost any position.
Yeah,
it
can. Even
so
like
great,
some of these things, I didn't get to mention it very much, but with my equipment manager job, those are some of the things that I have to do. I got to be organized. I have to be creative, how to sew a uniform if it's broken or something. Yeah. I had to be able to adapt my schedule, motivated, because sometimes it gets tough in there, or kids are frustrated, or you just got to be motivated. And then the last thing, I got to communicate with several different coaches all the time. My job, my bosses, and my several other people that I work underneath. So, yeah, it works for every job, I think.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
I've had
a great
fun.
time.
I hope I answered your questions.
Yeah,
I know
you were wonderful.
I feel like I was in a hurry or something. So
No.
Thank you.
Well, this program was brought to you by the Yuba College Career Center, who believes to be happy for life, love your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.